Hello everyone, I'm Professor Robert Gale. This is SO365. I am on vacation today for most of this week. I'll be back on Friday. If you guys have me for a class on Monday, either political science or Com 415 communication, you'll see me then. You might have seen me on Monday for those classes if you had me for those. This is a 300 level sociology course, so it's going to build on the course you took last semester, Social 170. If you didn't take that class here, or if you transfer credits in, basically we're going to take the main sociological theories and expand on them. Your book, which is called The Practical Skeptic, it's not a typical textbook. Most textbooks have chapters and glossaries and indices and cover certain subjects. This is more of a reader. If you look through your book, which you should have now, there are 39 readings. We're going to try to take 3 a week or so. They cover a range of subjects, but there are no keywords in there. There's no glossary. There's no index, no definition of terms. So we're going to be thinking big picture with a lot of these readings. So it's a little bit more difficult to study for than your average class. It's very participatory. I'd like to call it the Socratic Seminar. I'm going to be asking you lots of questions, and you'll see in your syllabus that participation and attendance are going to be requirements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow for a percent of your grade to go towards attendance, and for every class you miss and you lose points off of, and every class you're here and you're just not participating at all, you could lose points off as well. So I'd like everyone to try to participate as much as possible. We're going to be reading articles, century-old articles by sociologists who really don't write very well, and you're going to be reading articles by Pulitzer Prize-winning authors who do a great job. So some of the readings are very dry and hard to get through, even for me, and some of the readings are going to just swim by. But it's a lot of reading in this course, and there's going to be some writing as well. I've tailored my writing a little bit, tailored it down. It's not going to be quite as much writing this semester as they had last semester. At the end of every reading, every week we're going to have quizzes, just like in my other classes. We'll have 10-question multiple choice quizzes. I've got all new quizzes for this semester, and we're going to have a new system where you're not going to be able to keep your quizzes because we had an issue last semester. So, but we're going to have quizzes every week on the readings. So, for example, this week you're going to be asked to read readings 1 through 3, and next week when we start class, I will be here, and you will have a quiz on readings 1 through 3. It'll be 10-question multiple choice. You'll also have some homework to do that's going to be passed out by, I assume it's Dr. Chatterjee, who's sitting, where would he be sitting? Over there? Yes. Who's sitting over there, who will pass out the homework for you. Your midterms and finals are going to be a little bit different. I think I'm going to have essay questions. In fact, I've tailored some written midterm and final exams. We're not going to be doing the multiple choice that we've done in the past. But it's a fun class, and the biggest complaint students have is that there's too much reading and writing. They like the participation. They like that we talk about big picture stuff. We think outside the box. We talk about deviance and gender and race and socialization. There's some discussion of the research method. Some of the readings that are really interesting are how social scientists gather data and what they use as data points. There's one reading where a researcher wants to look at how teenage girls use humor in peer interactions. So when they have a new person come into the group of friends, girlfriends, what type of humor do they use to socialize them into the group? And so that researcher classifies the types of humorous interactions, whether they're memorized jokes or sexual jokes or something like that. And so that's a data point that she uses as a social scientist. So some of the readings are really interesting into what exactly is used as a data point. You might be thinking with science, with measurements, you measure temperatures or distances or things like that. But in social science, you break things off a little bit differently, and you can measure all sorts of things. And there's another reading where the author wants to research sexual harassment. Harassment in the workplace. So she broadly classifies two kinds of harassment: generalized harassment and sexual harassment, and then she has variables she uses. It creates data points and tries to chart what kind of workplace is more likely to cause general harassment and what kind of workplace is more likely to cause sexual harassment. And so it's very fascinating. So some of it's about the research craft. Most of it are observations and analysis and research of various social problems. So that's what we're going to look at. So sociologists are consumed with life's social problems, how we interact with one another, how we can interact better with one another, why we do the things we do as a group, and how we're impacted by society at large, and how we also in turn impact society at large.